Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Figured I'd keep up with the street stock theme for
Tactics
this
cleared.
week
Don't cross
and
the white
run
line. We've
the
got two
pavement
laps to
street
set a
stock
decent
series
time.
here at Southern National. Probably am committing iRating and the safety rating suicide, or it's going to be an incredibly boring race if I'm able to avoid it. Got a feeling there's going to be a lot of cautions. This is a track I actually really enjoy. I haven't run anything in here in quite a while, so looking forward to it, going out for qualifying and try to put in the fastest laps that I can, see if I can try to get myself towards the front. I think qualifying is going to matter quite a bit given how many cautions potentially could see. We'll just have to see what happens. So
P2.
second right now, don't think I'll be able to get the pole, probably not going to be able to improve on lap time since I screwed up 1 and 2, but going to dig my hardest, see if I can get off of 4 any better. Unfortunately not able to. So right now sitting on the outside pole, not really a great spot to be given that it's very easy to get freight trained here, but certainly going to try to do my best. Didn't miss the pole by much, and quite a bit faster than the 2. You can see about 1/10 faster, and only about a quarter of a tenth off of pole, so gonna bump the steering ratio up to 12-1. Fortunately, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that pace doesn't even, it's necessarily going to translate to actual racing, obviously. I think if we can get green flag runs, I'm not going to run the car quite that hard. I guess the 4's got the potential to get me. I think this is actually a second split. If this is the first split, this was just a really, really weak field overall. But I think this is actually a second split. So unfortunately, going to have to do really well in this, which every time I try to run one of these, it never ends well. If I have the pace to hang towards the front, somebody takes me out. And if I don't get taken out, I don't have the pace and can't stay towards the front. So thought we were going to get short in qualifying. Unfortunately, we didn't. Looks like we're waiting on the 4 and the 17, both turn times. At this point, it's probably not going to shorten it at all, so we're just going to have to sit for the next minute. So hopefully, can try to get through this race as cleanly as possible. If I can come out of here with the 0x, I will be tickled and thrilled to death no matter where we finish. About the only way that I would be expecting to do that and disappoint is if I just decided to sit and run around the apron and through the pits constantly. These things definitely can be rough, especially when you put them on a short track, and especially if this is the second split with some weaker drivers, definitely can have a lot of problems. Guys in general, it's street stocks for whatever reason. They just seem to not care generally about racecraft or respect, and it's just, hey, if you're in my way, you're going to get bumped, and that short track racing deal with it, which, to a degree, I understand a lot of these tracks, it's a one groove, and if somebody's in front of you and they're not making a mistake, then bumping them and moving them out of the way is the only way to get around them. But a lot of guys just seem to take that to the extreme of slam instead of, racecraft. So, certainly going to try my best to stay away from it. Hopefully the qualifying times can translate to some sort of race pace. If I can get off and fall in line in second, or if I can just lose one spot to the 2 and fall in line to
P2.
third, I would certainly be okay with running third if there was a bunch of cautions just to keep myself on that inside. But we'll just have to kind of see how it shakes out. It's going to be 60 laps. Certainly going to be an interesting one for sure. I'm expected to finish in third. Obviously, based on that, anything less than a top 5, top 7, something like that's definitely going to be disappointing, especially for qualifying third. Certainly going to do the best that I can to try to keep it up there. And I don't know. We'll just see how it shakes out. Hopefully it can be fun. I mean, I actually enjoy running these cars. Obviously, I've mentioned before that I run a street stock league with Team Goon Squad. It runs on Thursday nights, open setups, a little bit longer races. Usually involves at least 2 pit stops, sometimes 3 depending on the race length. So I do enjoy the car, actually. I shied away a little bit from the official series because of how the contact can be and how some of the racecraft and everything is. So that always can be frustrating and kind of not as fun. Although sadly, I feel like super late models are slowly starting to get to that point, but I still want to run them because I still want to master the car, and I think that is something that can translate to other cars as well going in the future. So hopefully gonna make the most of this one, give you guys something entertaining to watch, try to get you guys a good finish. and maybe can come away with a win and finally find a win in a fixed series that seems to be tough for me unless I'm in a really weak field. It seems like open setups are the only times that I've been able to find wins lately, so I'm gonna try to do the best, and if nothing else, hopefully I give you guys something
laps.
entertaining
The track
and
temp is 96.
come out looking a little better. At least me not do anything stupid. So guys will have to let me know if this goes well and it's not too boring, not too caution filled. If you want to see me run more of these, or if you would like to see other stuff instead.
Stay behind the pace car in the outside column.
Uncheck fuel. Not sure if I'm going to be doing a second gear start or a third gear start. Let's see how the RPMs shake out. Thankfully, we've got a second lap to try to figure that out. Almost feeling like it's going to be a third gear start rather than a second gear start. Other side too, especially on a track like this, starting on the outside pole can be very rough because you have no advantage being able to time when the leader is going to go, and unfortunately it's even worse with me being on a single screen to try to time it. So certainly going to try my best, but just going to have to try to hold off whatever I can.
Heads up, get ready. Floor it, green, green, green.
Leader got a really good start on me. I was able to at least get a better start than the 2, though. I don't think the 2 expected the leader to go quite as early as he did, although he didn't jump it at all. So able to hold on to second, and let's just keep riding here until we see how cautions are going to shake out, if they're going to happen. Right side is we're at least able to get 1 lap in under green, so it's, I guess, slightly more than I thought. It is very possible to overdrive this car and lose it off of the corners. It's also possible to drive it in too hard and lose it into the corners as well. So I'd expect to see a lot of people with that. Looks like the 1 might have brushed the wall down the front stretch.
The guy behind has just done a...
Just got to watch and see how everybody's running. Would expect the front 4 or 5 to probably be close on pace and be able to hang with each other, but we'll see if we're able to break away. Looks like gaps are maintaining right now, half a second out to the 1 up front and about 3/10 back to the 2 behind. I get a little loose off of turn 2 there. It shows you how easy it is to get on the throttle too hard with too much wheel on this car. Thankfully able to maintain gaps.
Cox.
Just fine with riding in second right now. Obviously would love to grab the lead, but if we're able to go green, tires definitely can come into play if you lean on the right front too much through the corners. So just gonna sit here and keep clicking off laps, try to maintain a pace but not abuse the tires too much. Gotta watch how hard I get off of the corners there. Kind of did it again in turn 2. It's not going to be good for the right rear, and it will make it a lot tougher to get off the corner.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
Feeling like I'm fairly comfortable in the car right now. Gaps again are about even. It's bouncing right around between 4/10 and half a second to the 1 out front, and right around 3 to 4/10 to the 2 out back. So I would say if the 3 of us can run like this for a little while, that should be decent. You can see the 6 is hanging on to 4th, and it's a little bit back to 5th place, but top 5 are all breaking away by a good bit from the rest of the pack. Looks like we're going to start getting into lap traffic relatively soon, so see how that comes into effect. Clicking off more laps to start than I expected, so maybe we can get a good long green flag run in. Looks like the 2 is having a battle with the 6. Longer they can run side by side, that should help allow me to be able to pull away. 17 gets way up high into the wall. I stayed way low, wasn't sure if he was going to come off the wall, so cost me a little bit of time to the 1, but that's honestly okay. The 6 and 2 can continue to battle side by side. That'll allow me to pull away from them. Looks like they got that straightened out, and we got our first caution. So, fortunately, gonna have to hope I can get a better jump. The 6 got by the 2. Haven't seen him on the restart. Believe he started 4th.
We're under
I want to say.
Pits are closed.
But we're gonna have to hope that I can get another good start, since I'll be starting up on the outside again. Although if we end up going without, or if we have more cautions and the 6 able to get by, cut me back on the inside, and give me a shot to get him on the next restart if we have one. But certainly feel like I probably got 2nd, maybe 3rd fastest car out on the track. 6 might be a little bit faster. I just feel like I was trying to just ride, not really push the car as hard as I could. Obviously, we ran a lot faster in qualifying, and was kind of just trying to keep even with the one, not overdrive it, not get myself into any problems at all. So just kind of status quo, I guess. We're not even a quarter of the way through the race, so long way to go. And just kind of trying to maintain tires, not abuse them. That if we do get a green flag run, especially towards the end, that's, you know, longer than, let's say, 15 or 20 laps, yeah, I can try to be there to take advantage of guys that might have abused their tires a little bit more than me.
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
I guess these caution flags laps are nice, only for the fact that I can get pretty much guaranteed 0x laps in, unless somebody does something stupid.
We're under caution. Pits closed.
Anytime I can click off a 0x lap in the street stock race, both dirt and pavement, I am very happy with that. It's actually, like I said, went longer than I expected it to go without a caution. So to get 12 laps or 13 laps, whatever it was that we got in, that's more impressive than I thought it would be. So maybe we can just finish the rest of the race without a caution and
Get ready. Race will resume at the end of this
get another long run in and finish it out and kind of let the racing play out rather than cautions and starting position dictate where you finish. I try to do my best to time the start a little bit better. It's just so hard to time it through the corner.
Green flag.
Just so hard to get that start. That inside line's got such an advantage being able to hang behind the leader and see what they're going to do.
Inside.
Just going to try to run the 6 on the outside right now,
Still
see if
there.
I can hang on to the position. Can't cut down yet
Still
as much as I
there.
want to.
Still
A long
there.
ride battle with him, the worst it's going to be. You can see the
Hold
2
your line.
got beat by the
V3.
13 as well, so just going to let the 6 go, fall in behind him, try to get in line, preserve a top 3 and not get freight trained. Again, it's still really early on, so see if the 13's got pace, if he wants to push, what he wants to do. See what I can do to hang with the 6, see if the 6 is that much quicker. 13 gets a little loose off of turn 2 there. 6 does as well. Start to pull away a little bit from the 13, not sure if he's overdriving it, although I do the same thing. 6 gets really loose, so it gives the 1 a chance to get away from the rest of the pack. We kind of do the same thing. We'll pull to the inside of the 6,
Still there.
see if I can get the position back.
Hold your line.
Try to do my best to lay
Still
off
there.
of him. 13's getting way loose off of turn 2 again behind.
Still there.
Fortunately, there goes the 0x.
Outside.
6, I think,
Outside.
I don't know if he drove down in or what. 13 goes to throw it 3 wide. This is just getting crazy. And we somehow hang on to 2nd, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately that we're still in 2nd, but unfortunately we're going to be back on the outside. I don't know what was happening there. I mean, I know the 6 and I had the issues, and I might have drifted up, gotten in contact with him. I'll have to take a look there, but then
Pits are closed.
13 just decides to drive it in. He sees any hole and goes for it 3 wide, which 3 wide through this track is
Pits are open.
not ever advisable. So, not sure what he was thinking there. We'll take a look at that in the replay. That's pretty crazy. Like I said, coming away with the 0x was pretty much going to be impossible unless I ran really afraid and just avoided everybody, which for my iRating sake, I'd rather, you know, take a 4x that happens as long as I don't, you know, run over somebody and try to finish well, get you guys something good without, you know, doing anything stupid. So we'll certainly have to take a look. I mean, the 6 just overshot the corner, and I tried to take the line away from him. Thought I was running him fairly clean on the bottom. Not sure if he pinched me down, if he came down in, or if I did come up. Certainly going to take a look at that afterwards. And if I need to send an apology to the 6, I absolutely will, although it doesn't really seem like
Race
it
car is
ruined
out.
either one of our
Pits are
races. It
closed.
was just some contact, which generally these cars can get away with a little bit of contact and be okay. I guess that's part of the fun for a lot of people in street stocks, is they can beat and not generally slow the car down too much or trash it too much. So 13 is just crazy aggressive. I think he knows that he does not have as fast of a car in the long run, and he's got to try to get in positions when he can, because him flying by on the inside to throw it 3 wide was definitely a pretty aggressive and I would say ill-advised move. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just not aggressive enough of a driver, but I thought that was a bit crazy, especially this early on in the race. We're only about a third of the way through, so. Gonna try to time this start a little bit better this time.
Green flag.
Unfortunately,
Clear
still
all
just
around.
cannot time that very well. Got the 6 to the inside again. Just gonna try to hang to the inside.
Clear
2's
low.
trying to get to the inside. I'm able to get in front of him, so we're back to third again. Pretty much where we were prior to the last caution. Got a feeling we'll have another caution at some point, so just gonna hang here. Feel like we've got the pace to be faster than the 6. He's just getting really aggressive on the throttle coming off. I've made some mistakes as well, but seems like he just keeps getting it loose every time off the corner. So certainly just gonna kind of ride behind him right now. Can't let the 1 get too far away, but I don't want to overheat the tires, and I'll wait for the 6 to make a big mistake rather than trying to force a hole. As you can see, it seems like I'm getting off of the corner better than him. I'm just kind of laying back right now, really running what I would say is like 90%. So got a full course caution. Sorry about that. This is starting to go the way I expected it to. So at least I'll finally get a restart on the inside. Get a chance to follow the leader through, and certainly going to take the opportunity to try to get second place off of this, and hopefully we'll be able to finish the rest of the race under green, although I don't have very high prospects of that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better to let the 2 in and sit behind him than to try to get it. I don't know. I feel like we're still probably going to see another one, and if I start on the outside and the next one ends up being the last restart, then I could have a much tougher time trying to get around the 6 to have a shot at the 1. I mean, I definitely feel like I've got a shot at the 1 to get by him. I feel like I'm doing better on saving tires, especially the right sides compared to the 1. Unfortunately, thinking it's just going to be a bunch of series of short runs rather than anything long. So when it's short runs, you push the car, and if you wear tires out, it's not really going to affect you all that much because you're not heating them too much, and you're not going to run enough laps to really have somebody hound you down and kill you that much. So hopefully going to get restarted sooner than later, though. Let's see if we can get 2 to go this time by. We do get 2 to go, so that'll put us restarting on 36. So we will have 25 left. Just about 40% of the race left or so. Again, at least able to click off more laps without any further incident points. 4x, I don't know. Might have a shot at gaining just a couple hundredths of a point based on when that happened early on in the race, but still could potentially break even or lose it as well. However, if I can come out of street stocks within just a couple hundredths of a point either direction, I will be thrilled to death with that for sure. So feels weird starting behind the 1. Haven't done this at all, but certainly going to try to time this as best as I can. Get to the inside of the 6.
Green, green, green. Let's go.
6 gets a really good start and dives it instantly down to the bottom. So we're just going to sit in third. That was a really good start on him, and he just drove it straight down to the bottom. So he's actually going to almost look like he wants to go inside of the leader. Got the 3 wide call, which is not a great thing to hear. 16's getting crazy aggressive. Just cannot open up the bottom at all. The minute they see any real estate to the bottom, they're taking it. So just going to ride in third again. Got a long way to go. Not even to lap 40 yet, and the 6 is going to make a mistake at some point. Although I almost do the same thing as well. So 16 gets in the wall, rides it up. Able to keep it going, no caution from him. Just trying to see if we can get the 3 of us to break away from everybody, although that's only going to work if we happen to stay green the rest of the way. Fine with just riding in third right now. Allows me to save tires a little bit, and if we go green the rest of the way, maybe possibly reel these 2 in. 6 loses it off of turn 2. He keeps it going, no caution, so it's going to put us back in second. Still a good bit down to the 1. You can see the 16 and the 2 are battling hard, so about
V2.
7/10 or so out to the one up front.
Gap ahead is now.
To see if I can start cutting that down. Now that we could run the risk of restarting on the outside of the front row again, I would really love to try to start cutting that gap down and see if we can even have anything for the one in terms of a shot at the lead. I get really, really loose, so does the one, so we stay about
Track
even with
temperature's
him.
increasing. It's now
Probably lost a
100.
tenth or so into that corner. Tires are definitely hot, you can see. Looks like the 6 is on pit road. Figured it was only a matter of time before he was going to make a mistake, and we've got another caution. So we're going to be restarting on the outside again. 16's crazy aggressive, so that's not going to bode well for us with him being able to restart
We
third.
can see Smith has stacked it. Pace car is out. Pits are closed.
4 looks like he had a problem. I feel like there can't be many
Pits are
cars
open.
on the lead lap if he's dropped back to 14th. Okay. Makes a difference. Let's roll across the line and see where we're at, though. And cars on the lead lap. 6 is still on pit road. Must have had some pretty serious damage out of that. 15 cars on the lead lap. Nice. And the 6 just disconnected. So we're going to come across the line to have 15 to go while under caution. How many cars in total? 18. So 3 cars are a lap down. Not sure if the 5 is still out there. I mean, I feel like I have the pace. Yeah, it looks like the 5 is. So the 5 will be lucky dog. We'll get one of his laps back. I feel like I definitely have the pace to finish second. Not sure if I have enough for the 1, especially with us restarting second again. Over, 3 or 4 laps. Definitely feel like I'm quicker than the 16 and the 2 and the 8.
Pits are open.
Although, if we have another caution pretty close to this restart, it's going to be tough to get a good enough start to
We're
maintain
under
second
caution. Pits are closed.
and not potentially lose it to the 16, especially with how aggressive he was on that last restart. You could see the way he was diving. So we'll be restarting on 49, have 12 laps to go. Certainly going to try to do the best that I can to time it. Seems like the one's consistently been going almost as soon as the pace car pulls off. However, I cannot just instantly jump on that because that could be the time when he could try to catch me, and it
We're
would
going
put me
green
in
next time
a
by.
very, very bad position if he were to do that. So, rather sacrifice a little bit of time in a position than jump somebody and get a black flag and have to fall all the way to the back.
Green flag. We're racing.
Timed it about as best as I could, did not get a good shift and drilled the wall on the outside.
Inside.
Fortunately, still going to be battling side by side with the 16. Just going to let him go, see if he
inside.
slides up. Kind of do a crossover like that as I expected him to overdrive it. Just going to try to take that inside
Still
line away,
there.
get back to second.
Hold your line.
8's looking like he's going to try to follow through. 16's able to cut down in front of the 8. Hopefully we can just finish without any more cautions and we can bring it home in second.
Full course caution.
And there's the caution. Yeah, this was not a good idea if I wanted a race that was not going to have a ton of cautions. We're going to have like 5 laps left and starting on the outside again. Yeah, sorry about that. This is worse than the dirt street stock, and this reminds me why I don't run these. I guess we'll take a look at the results. If this was not the top split, we'll take a look at the top split and see if that was any better, because maybe if I get my iRating enough to where I can pretty much be guaranteed to be in the top split, then it could be worth it. But if this is top split, I'm really scared. If this isn't top split, which it shouldn't be, and top split's not any cleaner, then for my own sanity, I may not run these anymore, because this is just not fun being under this many cautions. It really is not enjoyable. Got lucky enough to get as good of a start as we did. 16 was still able to jump better. 16 just made a mistake and I was able to take advantage of it. So I feel like we'll probably be in the position to finish 3rd or 4th with how many laps we have if the 16's able to keep himself from making any mistakes, but we'll have to see what happens there. Fortunately, laps are clicking off, which is great for maintaining a 2nd place and no more incident points. However, I don't know. I don't really want to run the risk of losing second either. I would have preferred to have a long green
Pits are
flag run
open.
and seen if we could have had something for the one. Unfortunately, that was not in the cards to be for this race and was not going to happen. So, see if we get 2 to go. We do. We're going to be restarting with 4 to go
We're under
on lap
caution. Pits are
57.
closed.
I think I actually almost would have preferred this to just go longer than shorter, but I suppose 4 laps, it gives me the shot that even if the 16 does get by on the restart, if he makes another mistake, I could try to get back by him and have a second place. Don't think I'm really all that worried about the 8. Seems like we got away from him, and the same thing with the 2. Did a pretty good job to get away from both of them on the restart, even with having to let the 16 have the inside line, so not too worried about that way. Just gonna try to do my best to time this, see if I can get as good of a start as the 6 did in one time. One gets a really good start. I did about the best that I could. 16's already on the inside line. 8's going to be diving it to the bottom, I'm sure, now that we have 4 to go.
Car inside.
Just going to try to do the best that I can to battle here on the outside for now and see what I can do.
Hold your line.
Try to fall in line.
Car low.
Fortunately, wasn't able to do that yet. Now able to do that. Had to give up second. I think I would have been losing far more spots if I continued to battle with the 16 than if I had just done that. So, kind of had to drive a little defensively there. Just gonna see what the 16 is gonna do with the 1. We've got 2 to go this time by. Not sure if the 16 will have a shot at the 1. If he does, if we'll try to make any contact, he gets loose off of turn 2. It's definitely gonna block. I think he knows that we're faster. We both get loose. Fortunately, I'm not close enough to take advantage of it. We've got the white flag, so it will be ending this lap no matter what. Fortunately, just not able to get there to the 16. It's just the disadvantage of starting on the outside row, unfortunately. It's kind of what dictated that 3rd place finish, so...
well done, Jake. Great
3rd place is where we were supposed to finish, at least. Yeah, that outside row was just at such a disadvantage the whole time. Such a disadvantage the whole time, so... Proud to have held up to the front as much as I did. Deal with all the
pit lane speed limit is
battles that were going on.
mph.
And yeah, it was better than nothing. So let's go see what happened there with the 16. Excuse me, the 6. All right, so this is where it's gonna happen. Rewind it back a couple laps. This may run a little bit longer than I want it to, but it should still be a decent story. Alright, so we're going to be following the 6 by. I'm going to try to get to the inside if I can. That lap wasn't able to do that, but he kind of sees me and doesn't cut down, so at that point I have the position to take from him. We are about nose to tail running in. That's where the contact happened. Okay, so let's see what happened here if this was on me. So I'm coming down to my line. I kind of wash up just a hair. Like I definitely probably overshot the corner. I think I was trying to get as much speed in as I could in order to try to pull away from him coming out of the corner. And you can see I kind of get in a little too hot, and the rear end kind of kicks out ever so slightly, and it starts sliding up the track, and we make door-to-door contact there. However, I feel like he was almost cutting down, like he's coming off the wall, cutting all the way down, like he's trying to pinch me down, and he's trying to take that line away, which clearly was not the case. So it's probably 50-50. Yeah, we did get assigned the 4X out of it, but I feel like that's probably a 50-50 deal right there. And then the 13 thinks about trying to throw it 3 wide. This right here was all net code. We never actually touched there. So if that was the moment that got me the 4X, that kind of sucks, although I suppose we might have touched. But the deal through the 3 and 4, I almost feel like that was kind of a racing deal. So kind could take a look at the tires. 9488, you could see getting it loose off the corners was going to do that. Unfortunately, never going to see much tire wear given all the cautions we had. So sorry about that. Let's go take a look at the results and see how all that was. At least time-wise, given that we had all those cautions, it was still a fairly quick race. So yes, it was the second split as I expected. So 2017 strength field pretty weak, especially compared to me. 5 cautions, 24 caution laps, so almost half the race under caution. Super frustrating. We were about half a tenth off the fastest lap for the one, probably about the second fastest car on the track. Least able to gain 55 in iRating, so 2569. Slowly trying to claw. The next goal is to get the 3K, which I have not been to at all. So next goal is to try to get to that. Still able to gain 0.12 out of the safety rating, so progressively getting up there. Which, like I said, if I could come out positive out of a street stock race, I would be thrilled to death with that. So that's definitely a nice result that way. Let's take a look at the top split and see how that looked. In terms of cautions. Okay, I had almost as many cautions, so it might just be one of those that is either a combination of the track and the cars, or I just don't know if I necessarily want to run street stocks. You can see everybody in the front was probably around the same pace. I was slightly slower with some guys. Looks like the 15 car ran really quick overall, but everybody else was about the same pace. So we probably would have the pace to run in the top split. Just that's not very fun when you're running almost half the race under caution. That's not something I really want to deal with. So feel free to leave comments, your feedback on my analysis between the 6 and I, what happened there. Just love to hear from you guys in general. Like I said, if you absolutely want to see me do this and you want to deal with the cautions, feel free to let me know. I will gladly run more of them if that's what you want me to see, because I generally do enjoy the car. But if it's not something you guys enjoy, it's certainly not something I'm probably going to run too often, just given how that all went. Unless I see there's a week where it's going really clean and it's still competitive racing. So with that, I will leave you guys. Stay tuned for more races, and until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.